going on, podcast? This is Just Us Show. You tuned in again. I am Woody. Vaughn, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back for another show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our fourth show. We appreciate all the love that we've been getting, man. All the comments and questions y'all been throwing our way. We really appreciate it. That's why we do this thing. Vaughn, we're gonna go ahead and start it off. I don't know if you know, but the Mamba, he called it quits. Announced his retirement the other night. Had a terrible night against Philly. You know,
Well, he had a terrible night, but you did see flashes of Bill.
Yeah, early in the game, but he didn't have that staying power late. You know, I don't know. My thing is with Kobe, man. I think he's pressing. I think he's trying too hard. I think he's still, and mentally, I think he thinks he's still that old Kobe Bryant, which nobody stays young forever. And I know he's only 37, but 20 years in the league, plus all the games he's played in the playoffs, and plus the Olympics and everything. You know, that takes a toll on you. Plus, he hasn't really played in 3+ years because of injuries. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Do I think he can get back to it? Tonight, the Lakers won tonight. Kobe scored 31. So, you would think on a back-to-back, he would have had a better performance last night, and tonight he would have kind of failed. But I don't know. Honestly, I think it could have been one of those things where he might have been overwhelmed with the emotion. One thing I've seen with Kobe lately, it seems like he's really emotional, like it's really hit him that this is it. You know, like what do you think about the whole about the press conference and everything that he's been doing and kind of how he's been showing his softer side?
Well, I'm glad to see that. You know, like we talked about earlier, a lot of people hated Kobe. Right. I was one of them. But as he stayed in his career went on and he kept playing, and the older I got, I started to realize and respect his game and recognize that he's one of the best players that ever played his game.
Right.
I mean, like Kevin Durant said, he is this generation's Michael Jordan.
Right.
So, to me, that's probably why I didn't like him in the beginning, because I grew up watching Jordan and comparing him and him I felt like he was trying to take Jordan's place. Mm-hmm. But you can actually just step back and look at him and appreciate what he's brought to the game of basketball.
Right. And the thing about it, like, you know, people say, like, Kobe was trying to be like Mike. You know, I think everybody was kind of trying to be like Mike.
Everybody tried to be like Mike.
And the thing is, if Michael Jordan, I mean, because, you know, like I said, I don't think there's an NBA fan, coach, player out there right now who's watched the game of basketball over the last 25, 30 years who doesn't recognize Michael Jordan as the best, as the greatest player that we've all seen, and probably the greatest ever. You know, no matter what team you're a fan of. I mean, Laker fans. I mean, Miami Heat fans. Denver Nugget fans, Knicks fans, whoever, we all know that Michael Jordan is the pinnacle. So if you're Kobe Bryant and you're shooting to be that guy and you're trying to be the best that ever was, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, he was still his own man in Kobe Bryant, but I don't see anything wrong with trying to be the gold standard.
After the best to ever play the game.
Exactly. You know, I mean, you look at it. Every time we talk about like in football, you know, you got a good linebacker. What do they always do? They say this dude could possibly be the next LT, or, you know, a defensive lineman. This is probably the next Reggie White, or a wide receiver. This is the next Jerry Rice,
the next Joe Montana, or the next Steve Young, or whatever great that played the game.
Exactly. We always measure someone's potential against success of the greats. You know, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, and here's the thing. You know, the thing about Kobe Bryant, I was watching the other day. I was watching First Take with Skip and Stephen A. And one thing they were talking about where Kobe Bryant ranks all time NBA. You know, and
I saw that.
To me, it was Stephen A. was all over the place. You know, he really didn't look like I don't think he actually numbered them at all. He just kind of was speaking, and then the only thing he really mentioned about Kobe Bryant was he would put Kobe Bryant ahead of LeBron James. Which
he should be.
Right, but the way he was doing it, he was talking about I think Stephen A. had like 12, 13 guys in his top 10. So I don't know how that works, but that was his. But I want to run down Skip's. Top 10, and this is what he had. He had number 1 at MJ, Michael Jordan, which we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Number 2 for him was Magic. Number 3 was Shaq. Number 4 was Bill Russell. Number 5 was Kareem. Number 6 was Tim Duncan. Number 7 was Wilt. Number 8 was Larry Bird. Number 9 was LeBron James. And number 10 was Kobe Bryant. Now, most people would probably look at that and say, well, yeah, you know, that makes sense. But to me, maybe I'm biased, you know, because there's a few Lakers on here, so it's not like it's not like I'm not going to say I wouldn't agree with Magic being number 2 or Shaq at number 3 or whatever. Right. But one thing I will say is, if you had all these guys and you had to pick one guy to be on your team out of all these guys besides Michael Jordan, because no matter
he's the GOAT.
100 out of 100 should
always going to be the first.
Right, should say Michael Jordan. But besides Michael Jordan, in my opinion, man, I would go number 2 would be Kobe Bryant. That's just me. I mean, and like I said, I know you got Shaq there. I know you got Kareem. I know you got Bill. I know you got Magic. Even LeBron and Larry Bird. But to me, if it wasn't Michael Jordan, it would be Kobe Bryant, because Kobe, first of all, his intensity to win. And I'm talking about Kobe Bryant in his prime. I'm not talking about Kobe Bryant right now. I'm talking about him in his prime. I don't mean young Kobe, the first couple years airballing shots against Utah. I'm talking about when he was really Kobe Bryant. When he was able to score 81 and then score 62 and then sat out the fourth quarter. I'm talking about that Kobe Bryant. Plus the way he could play defense and shut down whoever your best player was. So, and I mean...
Well, see, Skip's argument was that LeBron was the better overall player than Kobe. And then his other argument was, well, if I need the ball in someone's hands at the last closing seconds of the game and I need them to win the game for me, I'm going to go with Kobe.
Right. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
But yet you want to pick LeBron as the better player.
Exactly.
If LeBron's a better player, LeBron's a better closer.
Right.
But we all know that's not true. I would definitely put Kobe ahead of LeBron because 5 championships to 2 speaks a lot.
Exactly. And 4 losses. To me, if you look at numbers and everything, if the numbers that LeBron James put up, I guess that were better than Kobe Bryant's, so I'm assuming that's what Skip was talking about. If his numbers were better, he should at least be 50%.
And let's look at these numbers,
finals wins.
These LeBron numbers. Let's look at it from an honest viewpoint. Who was he going against? What was the talent level? We all know. Well, I'm gonna admit this. Well, I'm gonna say this for my part. The NBA has been soft for the past 12 years, probably.
Yeah, right around.
A little less than that. And you talking about right when LeBron came into the league? Who was he going against?
Right.
The superstars he went against, he couldn't beat.
Right.
So his numbers are, to me, are inflated.
Right. Exactly.
Because of the lack of talent that he had to play against. Michael was getting beat up by the Pistons.
Right. They had the Jordan rules.
The Lakers. You had strong teams back then. The Rockets. You had a lot. The NBA wasn't soft. The Knicks were tough. You had way more talent and more teams that could come in and beat you on any given night.
Right.
Whereas now the Eastern Conference is a joke. It's been a joke for the past 5 years. Since he made the decision, the Eastern Conference has been a complete joke.
Yep.
If he was in the Western Conference, I highly doubt he would have the numbers that he's had so far.
Right. I don't think he'd been to 5 6 straight NBA Finals.
Now, don't get me wrong. He's still a good player. He's still one of the great players to play the game, but his numbers wouldn't be as high as they are now.
Right. Exactly. I feel the same way, man. Like I said, nothing against LeBron James, but Kobe Bryant in his prime versus LeBron James in his prime, I don't think it's even close, man. I just don't. Shaq. Like I said, Shaq was one of my all-time favorite players, man. He still is. Shaq was a dominant force. There was really nothing you can do with a guy like Shaq. But sometimes Shaq was a liability on defense. Shaq was not a shutdown center. He could score, but he was one thing they said on First Take, which made sense. They were talking about, Shaq was primarily the driver for those first 3 championships, but at the same time, in the fourth quarter, Phil had to go to Kobe to close out the game because he knew he couldn't rely on Shaq with his free throws.
Yeah.
Plus defensively, you couldn't stop Reggie Miller with Shaq. You couldn't stop Allen Iverson with Shaq. You couldn't slow down Jason Kidd with Shaq. You had to have Kobe Bryant to slow them. Yeah, he didn't stop him because he was still scoring on the other end. But Kobe Bryant was that one guy that you could put on whoever was the best player on the other team and at least slow him down, which would help out your team. So, like I said, people can take it how they want. They can take it 70-30, Shaq over Kobe. To me, I'm thinking it's 50-50, at worst. 50-50 at worst. But that's just my opinion with Kobe Bryant, man. That dude's all-time great. Another thing, real quick on the top 10, another thing that I don't really understand. Maybe you can explain it to me. But they got Tim Duncan at number 6. And now here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think people, when they look at Tim Duncan, I think people overestimate Tim Duncan's greatness, because granted he has 5 rings. I understand that. But the thing about Tim Duncan is I was looking back through the stats on Tim Duncan. First of all, this year he's averaging less than 10 points. Tim Duncan since the 2009 season has averaged less than 20 points. He's actually averaged 17 points or less since 2009. The last season that he averaged over 20 points a game was 2007. I mean, how long ago was that? This is an all-time, quote-unquote, all-time great, and the last time he averaged over 20 points a game was 2007? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Also, the last time Tim Duncan has played a full season, 82 games, was the 2001 season. Last time he played 82 games. To me, that doesn't make any sense. And the last time he played close to 82 games, which was 80 games, was the 06-07 season. So that's what I'm saying. You talk like they always say. I hear these people talk about your greatest ability is availability. Tim Duncan has proven that he hasn't been available.
But wait a minute.
Throughout all them years,
is he not available or is he being rested?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If you look back, how many times has he been injured? I don't recall him being injured a lot.
Right.
I think it's more of a coaching decision to rest him because those Spurs teams have always had multiple players who can get the job done.
Exactly. That's my point with Tim Duncan. When you say Tim Duncan is great, then you have to give credit to Tony Parker, you have to give credit to Manu Ginobili, and you have to give credit to Greg Popovich. So to say Tim Duncan out of that crew, Tim Duncan is the great one, and to put him at number 6 on Skip Bayless list to me is ridiculous. That's the point that I'm trying to say. If you want to put Tim Duncan in the top 10, I'm fine with that. But not at number 6. Not ahead of Wilt Chamberlain. Not ahead of Larry Bird. Not even ahead of LeBron or Kobe. I mean, to me, that's crazy. But it is, like I said, I understand that's Skip's.
Well, let's look at
that's his list.
Other than Michael Jordan being consensus number 1, everybody else is subjective to your own opinion.
Right.
So it's always going to be, well, I don't agree with this, or this player should be here, or this player should be here, because none of them reach the level of Jordan or higher.
Right.
So and plus Skip's a Spurs fan, so I expect him to put him up there like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think a lot of these players you're gonna have to wait till after they're retired, after they're done, to really look at the impact they had on the league. And right, you're gonna have to do kind of stuff like that. Speaking of the other night, the Lakers, we lost to Philly, the one team that Philly had lost 27 straight. They were 0-18 this season. I mean, come on, Lakers. I mean,
now they're 1-18.
Yeah, 1-18. They beat my Lakers. It's ironic that we lost to the best team in the league and probably the worst team. So I guess by default that would make us the worst team now. Even though they won the night, they beat the Wizards. I don't understand how you can lose to Philly and beat John Wall in the Wizards. It don't matter. I don't understand that.
Maybe that's because John Wall. Honestly, if you look at the game last night against Cleveland, he went off. John Wall was balling against Cleveland last night.
So would you say
he probably overexerted himself? The whole team
last night
was probably worn out from whooping Cleveland. So they took a break.
But these are my Lakers we talk about, man. I'm a realist, Vaughn. I love my Lakers, man. I'm ride or die, and every game. If you ask me when they play a game if they're gonna win, I'm gonna say yes, they're gonna win every single night. Even though I know it's probably not the truth, but I'm gonna say that. But come on, man, you can't do that, man. You can't lose to the Lakers on a back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you played back-to-back too, but come on, this is the Lakers we're talking about here, man.
Well, like they say, any team can be beat any day.
You're right. Speaking of Philadelphia, segueing into Philadelphia, Jahlil Okafor. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but both videos, man.
Who hasn't seen the video?
Man, Jahlil. I mean, I don't understand. You tell me what you think about that situation.
Personally, to me, he's a young man. He's barely out of college.
Right.
Barely out of his parents' house. He's young. And any young person is going to take offense to somebody talking to him a certain way.
Right.
He's young. He probably has a hot head. And who knows what the guy said to him.
Well, not even a hot head. I mean, think about it, Vaughn. He was 0-18. I mean, at this time, they were still
I'm sure he was highly upset.
Oh, yeah. He was frustrated.
And then with the guy continuing to run his mouth, and this is the thing. if you are going to sit there and run your mouth to whoever, it doesn't matter. They could be a normal person, they could be famous, they can be whoever.
Right.
But if you sit there and run your mouth, and that person whoops your ass, oh well.
Exactly.
You deserve it.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, Jaleel Okafor is a man, and he's going to defend himself.
Right. And
also, he had a pistol pulled on him.
Yeah.
I'd hit somebody too.
Yeah. That's to me. That's crazy. You know how Philadelphia could allow their number 1 draft pick to be out on the town like that. I mean, because at first they said that I guess he tried to use a fake ID to get in because I don't even think he's 21.
He's 19.
So he used a fake ID to try to get into the bar and possibly drink. But and I'm sure, you know, like I said, I'm not going. I don't know what Jaleel did. I don't know if he was intoxicated or not. But you know, I'm sure money talks, and in certain situations you can do what you need to do. You can do what you want to do. But how Philadelphia could let him out on the streets like that without somebody going with him, or at least the crew. Let the crew go with him.
Now after the fact, he has security that has to go with him. Right.
I mean, Von, you know, I mean, both of us, you know, former military. You know how it was when we went TDY to places, man. They would always say, man, buddies, y'all use the buddy system. If someone's going out, make sure you let everybody know where you're going and have people go with you. You know, and you just don't. That's just not something you do. You don't just go out on the town like that. I mean, I know he was with his boys or whatever, but I don't know if them cats ain't got nothing to lose. You know, go out with some other people that have stuff to lose like you do.
But then again, it all goes back to him being young, not really thinking and making the best decisions. I mean, besides the fight, I mean, the dude deserved to get knocked out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He deserved it.
Definitely.
But the speeding and the other stuff, incidents he's had, this is bad decision making.
Yeah, that shows he's still
growing. He's still a young man. He's still a kid.
Yeah.
So let him learn from this. They gave him a 2-game suspension. He's already admitted his mistakes. He's already said that he's made some bad decision making. So let him do his 2-game suspension and move on from it. And if he repeats it again, then you know it's an issue.
Yeah. Do you agree with the 2-game suspension?
To sit him down and make him think, yes.
I think the 2-game suspension was basically because it was out to the public.
Well, yeah, it's PR. It's the damage control. But at the same time, he's still going to be sitting out 2 games, and hopefully he takes this and learns from it and moves on.
Yeah, hopefully don't frustrate him even more. You know, hopefully he learns. Unlike Manziel,
he's on the worst team in the NBA, so he's going to be frustrated.
It's second worst team now. Second worst.
They have 1 win. The Lakers have more than 1 win.
Well, we got 3 now, but it don't matter. You lose to the worst team. By default, you're the worst team.
You're a notch above the worst team in the league, which happens to be 76ers.
Yeah.
Especially
now without Jaleel.
How many number 1 picks have they had?
Man, we don't even want to go down that. And then the guys that they've had picked over the last couple of years, they've gotten rid of. So it don't make no. And they keep drafting these injured players, these injured centers. I mean, I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it at all. But it is what it is. You know what? Here's the thing too, man. Speaking about my Lakers being the worst team, the whole Jaleel Okafor thing, man. I know right now, as far as like rookies that are playing well. I mean, this Porzingis. I don't know if you've seen the latest promo by ESPN.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But they got the little Porzingis song. I mean, that's crazy to me, man. The way he was booed at the draft, and now like everybody loves him.
Well, that shows you how fickle sports fans are.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
They don't want you until you start to do what they want you to do.
Right. I remember when they booed Damon Stoudemire on draft day, and he ended up being the co-rookie of the year. You know, but they booed him when he got his name called. But the thing with Jaleel Okafor. And like with the Lakers, with their draft pick, D'Angelo Russell. I mean, I still believe that D'Angelo Russell can be a great player in the league. That's just me. I know a lot of other Laker fans don't see it. They wish that we would have got Jaleel, and I understand. But I still believe D'Angelo can be good. Now, this is what I was thinking, man. Me personally, I think Phil Jackson, and I don't know, he is the Zen master. Phil does a lot of stuff that most of us don't understand. And I honestly believe this is just my theory, man. I believe that Phil Jackson set up the Lakers to draft D'Angelo Russell. And this is what I mean. I don't know if you remember earlier on this year. I can't remember, it was like February or March time frame when Ohio State was playing, I think in New York around that area. And Phil Jackson looked at him, and Phil Jackson said about D'Angelo. He made a public comment about D'Angelo Russell, and he said, man, that's a good looking kid. I think he looks like he's the best player in the draft coming up, you know. And with him being a GM, that's a no-no, and Phil got fined and everything for it. But honestly, this is what I believe, man. I think Jim Buss, you know, who's pretty much running the Lakers right now, I believe he saw that and The one thing I think he don't like Phil Jackson, and I think
he's smashing his sister. Of course, he don't like him.
well, yeah. Plus, the dude knows a lot more about basketball than Jim will ever know.
Like Phil Jackson because of Jeannie Buss.
Right. But here's the deal. I believe what happened was when Phil threw that nugget out there, Jim Buss bit. I mean, because think about it.
Yeah, because he wants to be better than Phil, so he wants to beat him at his own game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I definitely want to take the guy that you really like. And how ironic, the Lakers had the 4th worst record last year, and the Knicks had the 2nd worst record. And then for them to flip flop, Jim Buss looked at it like throw it in Phil Jackson's face. Like, man, not only do we get your slot at number 2, but we're gonna take the player that you was talking about. So I believe like that last 48 hours when they said Jahlil Okafor was the guy, and then 48 hours to the draft, and all of a sudden they changed to all of a sudden it being D'Angelo Russell, telling him, hey, don't even go look at Philly, and basically we got you. I believe that Phil Jackson coaxed Jim Buss into stealing or in the drafting D'Angelo Russell. Now, did Phil think D'Angelo was really going to be that good? And I mean, did he really like it, or did he just say that? Did he just throw that out there and Jim Buss bit like an idiot? I don't know. That's just a theory that I have on that. I don't know what you think about that, but like I said, that's just what I think. Moving on, college football season. It's December. It's December time.
About that time, most of the teams aren't playing anymore.
Yeah, most teams aren't playing, and
my Colorado Buffaloes sitting at the house.
Well, my Arizona Wildcats ain't that far ahead of them. But the college football playoffs. The rankings have been coming out, man, and every Tuesday, it's a lot to debate every single week. But the 4 teams. Do you think that's enough for a true college football player, or do you think they should expand it? I know they just got to this, so you can't really.
Last year, I thought I was just happy to see a playoff because I didn't like the BCS. I didn't think it was fair. I didn't think it was accurate most of the time.
Right.
So to see a 4-game playoff, I'm happy to see that. But I do think there should be more teams in the playoff.
Well, what would you expand to 6?
Maybe 6 or 8. Because I say that because last season when Baylor and TCU got.
Right.
They pretty much got shafted. They should have been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They were 2 of the best teams in the country and were on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So you have to wonder, does Ohio State win if they face TCU or Baylor?
Right.
Who
knows?
knows?
Firepower. I mean, but so I mean, I wouldn't go any more than 6 because I would go like the top 2 seeds get a bye, and then the bottom 4 teams would play a game against each other. Then you go that route. That's what I would do. I don't know about 8. I think 8 would probably be a little bit too much, but I'm like I said, I'm glad that they are to a playoff now because I think it makes the last part of the season even that much more exciting. Seeing teams like Iowa, who's I believe is still undefeated, and they're number 4. I think last time I saw they're number 4 in the rankings.
Yeah, number 4 in the college football and AP poll.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people still aren't really. Obviously the voters are sold on them.
Who has Iowa beat? Who have they played?
Well, I don't know. I don't follow Iowa that well. I'll be honest, man. I follow college football right around this time of the year, and I also with my Niners being as bad as they've been, I follow the teams pretty much for certain players.
But
so
let me throw this out there. Iowa's 4th. But according to their strength of schedule ranking, they're 63rd.
Wow.
Clemson is 1st with 36 for strength of schedule. Alabama's 3rd with strength of schedule. And Oklahoma.
Alabama's 3rd on strength of schedule?
Yes. Oklahoma's 27th as far as strength of schedule. So.
Obviously, that's showing you that strength of schedule don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't. You have 2 undefeated teams in Clemson and Iowa. But both of their strength of schedules, they're both the lowest out of the 4 teams,
right? And
with 36 and 63 respectively.
Well, they're in a major conference, so
they're in ACC.
That's gonna play into that.
Who's in the ACC? Florida State, since James
North Carolina
is terrible.
North Carolina, they can. This is gonna be a big game, man. When North Carolina plays Clemson, man, that's gonna really show if Clemson is really, I guess you could say, worthy. Yeah. Because North Carolina's been playing pretty well lately. But. Even so, man, the Big 12 is a better conference than the ACC. Obviously, the Big 10 is a good conference. The Pac-12 is it's competitive.
Pac-12 is garbage.
Well, it's It's more competitive than the ACC. The ACC is the worst of all of them. At at least in the Pac-12, you got at least 2 or 3 teams that could compete. You know,
with who?
With whoever, with Ohio State, with Alabama. Mm. I didn't say beat them, but they could compete. You know, just because of their style of play.
Speaking of Ohio State, what do you think about the fact that they're not even in the playoffs?
Well, honestly, man, I believe that the voters, or however this is concocted, I believe they hold it against Ohio State because they won it last year. I don't think Ohio State gets a lot of love because, you know, they got it. They were in trouble a couple years ago, man, and I don't know if people really like Urban Meyer. And
probably Urban Meyer thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, man. A lot of biases could be coming into play right now. So you never really know with college football, man. College football is as dirty as it comes. So, you know, to me, nothing really surprises me with that. But we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out, man. I hopefully it's going to be a good playoff series again and a good championship game. I like the one from last year, man. I thought it was excellent.
It was a nice change of pace.
Yeah. So we'll see how it plays. Oh, one last note. Mark Richt, new coach of
University of Miami.
The U. You know, I don't know if he can bring the U back to being the U, but
I would like to see Miami come back to being relevant again.
Yeah.
Because they've always put out talent. Look at the amount of players in the NFL that they have.
Yeah.
That are stars.
And they're decent
players.
Oh yeah.
So I would love to see the U get back to prominence and compete again, probably, and take the ACC.
Yeah, but I know the knock on Mark Richt was he had all those great players at Georgia, but he could never, for some reason. I mean, I know injuries played into it too, but for some reason he seemed like he was never able to get over the hump. Well, I mean, not everybody's Nick Saban.
That's a good reason to bring him in. He had great players in Georgia, which meant he recruits well.
Right.
So if he can get the hometown kids to stay in Miami, it won't be a problem for him to get to.
Yeah, if he can win over Florida, man, that'd be huge, man, for college football.
If he can get those local kids to stay put,
right,
he can build a solid team.
Right.
That's how those teams in the 80s and the 90s won, because they had local kids that stayed put, and they just dominated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how he does, man. It's either way, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Vaughn. You know, I've been listening to a lot of music and stuff out there lately, man. And to me, here's my question, man. The state of hip hop. I mean, I know we've touched on this before. We spoke about it, and you know, we think the state of hip hop needs a jolt in the arm, you know, a shot in the arm or something. But what do you think the state of hip hop is right now?
Oh man, I think it's horrible, to be honest with you. I mean, it's to the point now. I listened to a lot of stuff from the 90s when I was growing up.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I reverted back to music I listened to when I was in high school in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, because
the music now, to me, in my opinion, it's too gimmicky. Everything seems to be done for a check. There's no art in the music anymore. It's, well, let's make this dance up and then make a catchy hook. Yeah. And we can sell records. That's all it is right now.
But nowadays, do you think that there's any like true MCs? I mean, I'm not talking about a rapper. I'm talking about a true MC. I'm talking about a hip hop artist. Do you think there's any true MCs out there nowadays?
Yeah. They're still out there. Like just the main, to me, is corporate and media driven. Is the bullshit is pushed out.
Yeah.
The catchy, the bubblegum rap. Is what's selling.
Well, it's to make that money now, man. That's pretty much the whole thing.
You see it in commercials. You see it during games. You see it everywhere.
Yeah. You think hip hop is getting too saturated?
It's watered down, but there are artists out there. I mean, but they don't get the spotlight that they deserve. Like, to me, one of my favorite groups now is Slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. To me, those 4 MCs are hard to touch. And I was on Facebook a couple of weeks back looking at a post on the cipher, and one of the questions was name or rank the Slaughterhouse in order.
Ooh.
So between Joe Budden, Crooked Eye, Royce, and Joel, that's a hard task to do right there.
Yeah. I don't know. Like if I were to rank a man, just me, man, I would have to put Joe Budden last. You know, I mean, because he's been questionable. You know.
Well, Joe's good. Joe's real nice.
Right.
But my order is that I came up with was Joel number 1, Royce 2, Crooked 3, and Button 4.
Now, see, that would be almost mine too. Joel Ortiz definitely would be number 1 for me too. But I think number 2 would be Crooked I. Then Royce, and then Joe. But I mean, you can't go wrong.
It's like a coin toss with Royce and Crooked because to me they sound similar.
Yeah, they do. But their style is similar too. But
I like Royce's wordplay better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's clever. I mean, and I like that. I like that when hip hop is clever. I like when hip hop, is to me the essence, the true essence of hip hop, man. I think is missed a lot of times, man. I think the true essence of hip hop is when I listen to guys like groups like Slaughterhouse, when I listen to folks like Meth, like Redman. To me, that's the essence of hip hop, man. Hip hop can be used for other things. It can be used to tell a story. It can be used to teach. But to me, the true essence of hip hop, man, is just that cipher session, that bounce, that rawness about just hip hop, just enjoying music, man, enjoying being a clever MC, enjoying wordplay, enjoying the delivery. To me, that's the essence of hip hop, man.
Yeah, and now it's to me it seems lost on a lot of the younger artists because I don't think they get it, or maybe it's just that era and that's what's big to them, so they don't follow what's big. But there's a lot of young artists that I listen to that I like because they have an old soul, in my opinion. Like Joey Badass, Dave East is nice.
Yeah.
Kendrick is real nice.
Right.
So there's artists out there.
J. Cole.
There's there's young artists out there that have that. They get it. They understand it.
Right.
But to me, they just don't get the push that they deserve. And even with Kendrick, a lot of people were complaining about his second album, calling it trash, and they didn't like it. It was this, it was that. That's because you had to listen to it and think.
Right, yeah, right. You had to that Kendrick album, man, was definitely an album that I still play it today, man. Every once in a while, at the gym or whatever, doing whatever I got to do. I still listen to it because I think, like you said, I think it's one that makes you think, but at the same time, it's just so clever. The word, I mean, just the way Kendrick put it together, man. It shows the true talent of hip hop, man. And I think the good thing was he didn't stay, because the first studio album, I should say, that he paid homage to the West Coast roots, and it was, that's basically what it was. It was that West Coast growing up. Hey, this is me. I'm coming out, Kendrick, to the world, and celebrating being from the West and everything. And that's kind of that first album. The second album, and now the latest album, man. Like I said, it was different. So I don't think a lot of people. I think they were expecting almost like part 2 of that first album.
The same type of sound.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing for an artist when they grow.
Yeah, that is exactly.
They stay in that mold, that same sound. They grow, and they continue to challenge you as a listener to try to understand what they're saying or decode what they're saying in their rhymes.
Right. I like I said, I think that's the guys like that is what's going to keep hip hop afloat. Granted, the big production companies, they're gonna push what they want. They're gonna put out, like you said, that this music where it's all about a gimmick, it's all about a dance, because I think a lot of times they believe that a lot of them artists are fly by night, or they're 1 or 2 hit wonders. They can get them, use them up, and then roll. Yeah. Where the real staying power hip hop artists, a lot of times they got to go underground to keep things going, and then resurface every couple years, just to kind of stay relevant so we remember them. But
now I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We're talking about MCs, right?
Uh-huh.
I recently saw a little post on social media by MC Shan who said that he had something in store for motherfucking KRS-One's ass. Because KRS was doing a show somewhere and a heckler came out the crowd dressed like LL.
Okay.
And I forgot how it went down, but it came down to where KRS was like, I already took Shan out. Because I guess the heckler was
way back in the day.
Was spitting Shan's rhymes, kind of sound like Shan.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, I already took him out. So in the clip, Shan plays that little clip where KRS said he took him out. And Shan says he has something for KRS-One. He said he's ready for him.
Really?
What do you think is going to come of that? I personally think KRS is heads and tails. He's top notch above.
Man, KRS-One.
Shan was always lame to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Blastmaster KRS-One, man. For those who don't know, knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. KRS-One, you take it that way. It's that acronym. KRS-One is the blast master, man. This dude's been doing it for forever, and lyrically, KRS-One is one of the coldest MCs ever, man. I mean, like I said, no matter what, from Boogie Down Productions to like guys like D Nice and all them that whole crew back in the day. If you listen to what KRS said, KRS is very intelligent. He uses his words the correct way. I mean, and if you ever seen KRS live, if you ever seen KRS like in concert, the dude knows how to control the stage, man. Shan was a decent rapper, but I think Shan was still stuck. He was stuck local. You know, a lot of people probably don't even know who Shan is. You know, they probably don't remember Shan from the late '80s, early '90s. You know, because he never could make that splash where KRS-One was worldwide. You know, it's crazy, man. KRS. I mean, I remember one of my favorite songs of all time, man. "Love's Gonna Get You," man. I heard that the other day. Just brought back the old memories. I mean, I know that whole song. I would rap it right now, but you know, we don't got the, you know, I know it's copywritten and we ain't got the rights and nothing like that. But plus, y'all
don't want to hear you anyway.
Yeah. But it is what it is, man. But KRS-One, man, that dude was so talented. Shan, I'm sorry, man. Shan, if KRS is Kobe Bryant, Shan at best is Smush Parker, man. I mean, it's not even. It's not even close, man. It's not a competition. So whatever Shan thinks he got, hopefully he had Kane or somebody ghostwrite for him. Maybe Gilly. You may get one of them dudes to kind of ghostwrite for him or something. Cause
I have to say, I like it. I think it's good for hip hop. I think competition is good for hip hop. All this being friendly and everybody be on everybody's song, fuck that.
Competition is good for everything, man.
Let's all get back to competition. Even the Fredro Starr and Keith Murray battle. Yeah, it was garbage. But the fact that they did it, the fact that they just went at it.
Well,
the fact that they were willing to meet on a stage, hype each other up, and then battle. I was looking forward to it. Yeah, I was disappointed in the result.
Yeah.
But I was just happy to see that competition element back in the hip hop and not with just underground rappers.
Right.
You say right.
I mean, I hear you on that, but here's the deal, man. I don't believe, Vaughn, honestly, I know we want to see competition and everything, but I think a lot of rappers nowadays, a lot of the MCs nowadays are too sensitive for that. Because I mean, if you remember the Kendrick Control
verse, yeah.
How much drama came just from that?
But I like that. I like the fact that people were uncomfortable, that the artists that he called out felt uncomfortable and felt like they had to answer back. Yeah, it wasn't as good, but they answered back.
Right, and that's the good thing about hip hop. I mean, that's what it's all about. Just like what was it, the Drake and Future album, and then J. Cole and Kendrick. You know,
I don't like that.
They want to come back. I personally like that, man. I like that kind of I'm not gonna say drama, but I kind of like that tit for tat, man. I think that stuff like that is what's missing in hip hop today. But you gotta be able to accept that. You gotta be able to take that, which I don't think a lot of these MCs nowadays can really do that. You know, they can't battle like you used to be able to do. You know, so I don't know. Even what was it? The Most Def. What was it? Most and was it Lupe?
Yeah.
When they was getting ready.
But it wasn't really.
Right, that's more respect type.
What Most said was taken out of context, so that's why that never happened. So Lupe was basically responding to a statement Most made that was being taken out of context.
Yeah. But either way, I think when you see stuff like that and when you hear stuff like that, I think it kind of amps up.
It don't even have to be a live battle like Fredro and Keith Murray.
Right.
It could be just over records, like LL and Cannabis.
Yeah. LL and Kumo from back in the day.
Dr. Dre and Eazy-E.
Yeah.
I mean, just get back to the competition. Everybody doesn't have. You can be friends off the mic.
Right.
But compete on the mic.
Yeah.
Challenge each other. Push each other to get a solid product out there, and not just support everybody and everybody sounds the same. Why should everybody sound the same?
Right.
What happened to have your own style? Don't bite my style.
What did KRS say? You gotta have style, learn to be original, or everyone's gonna want to dish you. I mean, that's true right there, you know.
But see, that's the thing. It's the opposite of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's dissing anybody or talking bad about each other for sounding the same.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to sound the same. Everybody wants to sound like Future. Everybody wants to sound like Migos. Everybody wants to sound like all these new guys.
Yeah.
And they don't, even some of the established MCs are doing trap music.
Yeah.
And drill music. I can't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Why are you having artists from New York that sound Like they're from down south or the Midwest.
Right.
Why don't, I mean, to me, in my opinion, Busta Rhymes is the only MC that I could tolerate changing his flow to match whoever he was rapping with.
Right. Well, but Busta's a talented MC.
Everybody else, I just don't like it.
Yeah, because I know one thing. I know one thing. A lot of them East Coast rappers don't like it when them Southern rappers sound like, you know, they from like what was Jay Electronic talking about when he was talking about they don't like when the Southern rappers sound like we're from the East Coast. But that was just Jay Electronic. That was his flow. That was his style.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. Like, you know, now they trying to sound like they from the South too. You know, so that's
because it's the drill and trap sound that's selling records. So now everybody wants to do that copy that formula.
Yeah.
To hope to have the same success that everybody else is having.
Yeah. Instead
of concentrating on your core fans and trying to bring new fans into your sound, you want to switch up to sound like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the way. I mean, you know, that's the way it is right now, man. But like I said, hopefully, eventually things will get back to what it's supposed to be. And like I said, I hope all the drama, I hope everything with these MCs pushing each other and being able to take it. I hope that will bring it back to what it used to be when you had, like I said, the disc records and you had people perfecting their craft and coming out with something different, wanting to take on the world, wanting to be the best MC out there. So hopefully that's what we're going to end up getting here shortly. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I can see that. But on another note, let's change up from the music and move on to one of my favorite shows that I've just learned to love. And honestly, I hope it stays on for more than one season. Into the Badlands.
Oh, man.
Have you finally caught up with that amazing show?
Man, you know what? I'm kind of upset. I haven't caught up yet because on my DVR, man, all they got is the first episode. So I still got to see episode 2 and episode 3. And is episode 4 coming out this weekend?
Episode 4 comes on Sunday.
Man. See, I'm behind. But I will say this, man. Y'all were right. Y'all definitely right about that show, man. I was digging it. I was digging the first show. I'm waiting to see the second and third, and then even the fourth. But obviously, I can't watch the fourth until I see the other two. But yeah, I thought it was everything y'all said, man. A lot of action. Like the fight in the beginning when he fought the dudes that had old dude in the trunk.
Yeah.
Man, to me that was crazy, man. That was some of the stuff he was doing was just crazy, man. I really like it. I really like the show. I hope that it'll last, you know. But like I said, y'all were right on the money when y'all said it was a good show.
Yeah, it's definitely a good show. The action in it, the cinematography, the way it's filmed, the special effects, and plus I love kung fu flicks. Even the ones where the voiceover is horrible.
Yeah,
I still watch it.
Oh man, hey, me too, man. I think two of my favorite types of movies besides like comedy is kung fu flicks, like action kung fu flicks, and then horror flicks, man. You know, I'm good all day with them. But that's just me. That's just me, you know. Speaking of like TV shows, Ron, like what would you consider right now your top 5 shows that you either like to watch or you want to watch you know, if you could right now?
Oh man, it's kind of tough, but right off the back, my top 2, well, I can say top 3 because I got a new favorite show now. My top 3 will be in this order: Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Love that show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Into the Badlands. Then I'd have to go with a oldie, but definitely my all-time favorite, Sanford and Son. Being that I've named 4 or 5 dogs after people on the show.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to go with that 5th one. That's
now, I just wonder why you was always wearing Fred Sanford shirts, man.
Love Sanford and Son.
The Red Fox shirts, man. Rest in peace.
But oh man, the 5th show. What would be my 5th show? Hey, I have to go with childhood favorite, Looney Tunes cartoons.
Okay.
Big Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck fan.
Okay, yeah. Like for me, man, right now, you know, the 5 TV shows that I want to watch right now, or you know, possibly in the future. I mean, Game of Thrones and all. Yeah, I mean those go there too. But I think I'll probably go with Into the Badlands. You know, like I said, I'm still fiending off that last show. So I'm looking at that, you know, another one, Ash vs. Evil Dead. That to me, that show gets better every week.
Yeah, I gotta try that one.
Yeah, I think it's a good because it's like that horror comedy type deal. Quantico,
Yeah, Quantico is a good show.
That's a good show that's coming on now, man.
Definitely a good show.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, man. I love that show, man. Sunday night, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Was it Andy Samberg? Man, Terry Crews, man. Come on, that show, man. That show was crazy to me. I crack up when I watch that. And then I'm really waiting. I'm really waiting to see, hopefully, True Detective, the third season, because the first season was so good, man, and the second one was I don't even know how to explain it, man. It never seemed like it never got going. And I know some people probably have never seen it, but honestly, you really don't have to see it. It wasn't really that great of a show. It had like 2 or 3 really good episodes, but the rest of it, man, I wasn't really digging it. But we'll see. Hopefully that thing will come back next year sometime and pick up where the first show left off and have that same type of drama.
Yeah, but that's what I'm looking forward to. I got season 2 DVR, just never watched it, so I'm going to have to check out season 1 first, then season 2, and see if I'm going to be a fan of that show or not.
Yeah. Well, you know, we come to the point in the show, man. We're getting ready to wrap it up and everything, and I do want to, you know, kind of end on a somber note, man. I don't know if anybody heard today about the shootings in San Bernardino. Last I saw, the last bit I saw on that, man, there was 14 killed, 17 injured. There was supposed to be 3 suspects. 2 of them are dead. The third one, last I heard, they had him. So crazy thing, man. Active shooter when it comes to real life. I mean, Vaughn, you know the job we used to have. We used to do them drills all the time. Being in the military, there was a lot of close calls like that. You know, very scary, especially for civilians in that situation. So our hearts, prayers go out to the families of those that were affected today. Hopefully, they can find. I mean, especially right after the holidays, man.
This time of year has got to be tough.
Yeah, man. That's especially after Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up, man. That's a very tragic moment today. So, you know, like I said, our hearts, our prayers go out to those families and everyone who was touched today by that. You know, I know there's been a couple shootings this year, man. It's just
even with the sorry to interrupt, but even with the shootings back home, my home city of Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine how those people are feeling and what they're going through.
Yeah.
And the man they had interviewed that stared the guy in his eyes as he was getting ready to shoot at him.
Right.
I can imagine the issues he's dealing with now. So, I mean, we all gotta find a way to get past this stuff and just do something different. There's gotta be a different way other than mass killings and inflicting pain and unnecessary suffering on people who don't deserve it.
Definitely, man. So, like I said, you know, not a good thing to end on a somber note like that. But like I said, we just want to show that we do remember, we do know, and our hearts and prayers go out to y'all. You know, Colorado Springs, San Bernardino. I think New Jersey there was some shootings too. So
Chicago, all the violence across the country.
Right,
it's got to change. It's got to stop.
It definitely does, man. But once again, another show, Just Us Show. Y'all can hit us up on Twitter. Y'all can hit us up on Facebook, The Just Us Show. Twitter, The Just Us Show. Anytime y'all want to look us up, man, hit us up, get us some questions, whatever you guys want to do, man. You got any questions, comments, whatever the case may be, man. Hit us up. We do this. We enjoy doing this. Hopefully y'all enjoy listening to us. My man Ant, you know, out there listening. You know, have a safe trip. You know, he's having a little family trip, so you know. He'll be back with us, so don't worry. He was gone tonight, but he'll be back with us definitely. We'll be back next week to do some more interviews, to do some more topics, and just give y'all what y'all need, man. Just Us Show. Vaughn, you got anything to say to the people?
Nothing much. Just everybody just take care of yourself, look out for one another, and peace.
Yes, sir. Just Us Show.